After 10 years of this Liberal government, and despite a new Prime Minister, the more things change, the more they stay the same. Liberal friends and insiders keep lining their pockets with tens of millions of dollars, while hundreds of thousands of Quebecers have no food to put on the table. Why is the Prime Minister feeding BDC, Via Rail, and EDC execs annual bonuses of over $100,000 instead of feeding families who can no longer afford groceries? What world does the Prime Minister live in, expecting young people to make more sacrifices while he gives millions to the rich? The Honourable Government House Leader. Madam Speaker, happy Halloween, first of all. And there's another celebration coming, and that's Christmas. At Christmas time, people look forward to that. It's been a big year for Canada, so this year in particular, people want to celebrate Christmas. So we're going to table a budget, and Canadians would like our Liberal plan, the Prime Minister's plan, to build a very strong country. They would like that budget to pass. So can my honourable colleague commit today not to be a Grinch and to vote for this budget? The honourable member for Mégantic-L'Érable-Lotbinière. Well, at Halloween, is the government house leader going to stop scaring Canadians? What Canadians want is an affordable budget for an affordable life. And it's that government's responsibility to deliver. And I'd like to quote from the Nutritious and Affordable Food Basket's findings in their report. Over the past 3 to 4 years, more and more families supported by Alima have been experiencing severe food insecurity. That's Canada in 2025. Does the Prime Minister realize that young families have nothing left to sacrifice? The Honourable Government House Leader. Madam Speaker, unfortunately, the Conservatives have systematically voted against all our supports for Canadians, which aim precisely to help them get through the month and make ends meet, whether it's assistance for families, dental care, pharmacare, child care. Systematically, everything we've put in place to make life more affordable for Canadians, the Conservatives have voted against.
After 10 years, Liberal insiders and elites never had it so good as the Prime Minister forces young Canadians to make sacrifices. Young Canadians can't afford a home, yet CMHC execs got $30 million in bonuses for helping contribute to the Liberal-made housing crisis. Over 700,000 kids line up at a food bank every month, yet EDC execs get $45 million in bonuses for helping cover Liberal incompetence on COVID benefits. How many more sacrifices do young Canadians have to make so the Prime Minister can keep lining the pockets of his elitist buddies?
The Honourable Leader of the Government in the House.
Madam Speaker, my honourable friend, well, you know what he's done? Time after time after time after time, the measures that would help Canadian youth, they're against them. Whether it be student loan relief, whether it be the fund or the savings program for first-time home buyers, whether it be creating and building national projects that are going to give opportunities to young people from coast to coast to coast. This member stands in his place and votes against it every single time, Madam Speaker.
Member for Calgary East.
If any of those programs actually work, 700,000 kids wouldn't be lined up at food banks every single month. And incompetence pays in this government. Just look at the Justice Minister. A Liberal-made housing crisis, a Liberal-made cost of living crisis, a Liberal-made food bank crisis. Liberal insiders and elitists get paid to enable Liberal failures. When will the Prime Minister stop rewarding Liberal incompetence and actually give Canadians an affordable budget for an affordable life?
The Honourable Leader of the Government in the House.
Madam Speaker, it's Halloween, and we certainly want to wish a happy Halloween to all Canadians. There's another big holiday coming up. Canadians would like to have a Christmas, a holiday season in peace. No ads with the Leader of the Opposition, that Grinchy guy, screaming at them through their television screens or their telephone screens, Madam Speaker. Mr. The finance critic on the other side should stand in his place right now and tell Canadians they can be off the hook. We're not going to have an election. We're going to vote for that great Liberal budget.
The Honourable Member for Dufferin-Caledon.
Sacrifice more. That's the message this Liberal Prime Minister just gave to young Canadians. You know, the young Canadians living through generationally high youth unemployment, young Canadians who have mostly given up hope of ever owning a home.
Yep.
Meanwhile, Liberal insiders get rich. Liberal-appointed executives at BDC are getting, on average, a bonus of $216,000. A young Canadian would be desperate to have that as a salary. So, as the budget approaches, what sacrifices are these young people being asked to make while they get Liberal insiders rich bonuses?
Right on.
The Honourable Secretary of State.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The members opposite claim to be there for youth or to be concerned about youth, and yet at every opportunity when there is a chance to vote for investments and supports for our young people and families, they vote against. They will have another opportunity in this budget to support the tax cut on first-time homebuyers, to support the permanence of the National School Food Program, to support continued investments in early learning and childcare. I hope that they will join us in avoiding a Christmas election by supporting the budget. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
The Honourable Member for Dufferin-Caledon.
The question actually was about young Canadians and what they're going to be asked to sacrifice, which of course they didn't answer. Young Canadians are going to have to figure that out in the budget, and sacrifice they have. They've sacrificed by not being able to own a home. They've sacrificed by having generationally high youth unemployment. And this Liberal message is, we passed all these things. Things should be better, except they're not.
Yeah.
700,000 children now at a food bank despite their programs. Youth unemployment is the highest it's been in a generation despite their programs. Their programs aren't working, and their economics is driving young people into unemployment.
The Honourable Parliament Secretary.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Conservatives claim to care about young people, yet every time a measure comes to support them, they vote against it. They voted against a national housing strategy, the first home savings account, against expanding mortgage criteria, and now they won't commit to voting for cutting the GST. That would save first-time home buyers $50,000. Don't worry, Madam Speaker. Canadians know that Liberals are here to support them, and we hope that the other side can show they're really serious and they care about young people by supporting our budget on November 4th and avoiding a Christmas election. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
The Honourable Member for Gaspésie, Les Îles de la Madeleine, Listagouche. Madam Speaker, it's Halloween and the Liberals are trying to scare people. They're threatening to call an election if their budget isn't passed as is, but they're in a minority. All they have to do to get their budget passed is make a deal with the Bloc, the Conservatives, or the NDP, or anyone. We in the Bloc, we have demands that are in line with what Quebecers want. The Liberals can choose to respond to those needs or find other supporters, but if they're the ones refusing to negotiate with anyone, aren't they the ones acting in bad faith? The Honourable Government House Leader. Thank you. What I would point out to the member is that the Bloc, with its 22 members, has demanded $36 billion in additional spending that Canadian taxpayers would have to foot the bill for. But yes, Madam Speaker, we are listening. We are working with all the opposition parties. And yes, we obviously want this budget to pass and to avoid a Christmas election. The question to my colleague is he going to vote against a Christmas election in Quebec, or is he going to support the budget? The Honourable Member for Gaspésie, Les Îles de la Madeleine. Madam Speaker, the Liberals have three choices of supporters for their budget. Of course, we would like them to work with us because our demands address the real needs of Quebecers around health care and seniors' purchasing power. Of course, we'd prefer that they invest in Quebec rather than give fortunes to oil companies or tax breaks to web giants. But that's the Liberals' choice. For now, they're choosing to go it alone. They're not working with anyone. Why are they holding Quebecers hostage with threats of an election at Christmas instead of negotiating? The Honourable Government House Leader. Madam Speaker, as for my leader and my colleague, the Finance Minister, they have shown great openness. It's the leader of the Bloc Québécois who said, without even having heard a single word of what's in the budget, he has taken the position that he'll be voting against the budget. So who's not showing constructive attitude here? Someone who says, no matter what you do, I'm going to vote against it? Or is it the people who are listening and working with the opposition and trying to get this budget through so that we can avoid a Christmas election? The Honourable